What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Femmeline podcast B-Sides edition, where we have in-depth analytical conversations about the world of wrestling and our favorite wrestlers. Join us as we dive passionately into the art of wrestling and have detailed discussions while setting aside our fan-based biases. I'm Vio,
I'm Tony.
and we thank you for joining us. Now, Tony, you want to tell the people what we're doing today?
We don't. Okay, we got no structure. All right.
We don't.
This idea came about randomly at like 1 in the morning. One in the
Yes, we
morning
did.
for me. For me, 1 in the morning. With our first special guest, Meggs, and our second special guest, who's their first time appearing on the B-sides or on the podcast. Period. Is Mads. You did not know Mads is the 8th member of the Femmeline podcast. She strictly, up until this point, has been holding the fort with our social media aspect of things. A lot of the graphics that you've been seeing, chances are they were probably done by Mads as of recently. So shout out Mads, but we're glad to have you finally.
Yay!
But yes, I was in a Discord call with these two lovely ladies, and we were just kind of like, shooting the shit, airing grievances, saying things that like would probably get our asses beat if we said it in front of the entire podcast, like on a live or something. And then I was like, you know what? The hot takes episode that was supposed to go out for the OG pot, like it never saw the light of day because we had technical issues and whatnot. Sorry, Malcolm. But I figured, you know what? Let's do our own hot takes episode. Let's do something on the B sides. Hot takes for both WWE and AEW. And let's try to get our grievances out there without, getting whacked for them in the moment. In the moment. We will get whacked.
That's the important part.
Down the line. But right now, I can say what I want. So we're gonna do this like in rotation.
Roulette style.
One person is gonna go one after the other. I had these three write down 3 serious hot takes that they felt so strongly about. VO requested a fourth that be like kind of silly, kind of unserious. So
just for funsies, you know.
They have them. But yeah, we're gonna do this. No structure. We're just gonna
at all.
We're just gonna throw this bitch out there, and if you fuck with it, you fuck with it. If you don't, I don't know, man. All right, Vio, go.
Okay, so first one I have is that AEW needs to capitalize on their current momentum. I need more, like, what I meant by that is, like, you know how AEW used to have that Fight Forever game? I need another one of those. I need a trading card game.
Mm-hmm.
I need more stuff, you know, because AEW's momentum is so high right now. If Tony Khan were to, like, somehow make those things happen, it would go over so well, and I need it. I need it.
I feel like, because we did have one episode where me and you were talking like about different merch things that they could make.
Yeah.
And I feel like they don't do that, but I also think their particular like fan base that they cater to isn't really itching for, because you look at what WWE does, like with the top stuff, like look at the backlash, for no reason, by the way, that everybody had when it was like, oh, for WrestleMania, each superstar is going to have a patch on their gear, and then that patch is going to be put like onto a Topps card, and everybody raised hell about, oh, they're going to ruin people's gears. I didn't see the fucking patches.
I didn't see the patch at all.
They were so small, I didn't see them.
I'm surprised people saw Roxanne's patch for like the Raw debut she had on. Like,
yeah, and so when it comes to like WWE always making merch for this and merch for that and cards and games and like people always complain about it like, oh, they're so money hungry, they're so this, they're so that. So as much as I want AEW to get like on the ball with that sort of thing too and capitalize on their popularity, especially like the rising popularity of collecting and card
Mm-hmm.
trading in wrestling, that's picking up a lot of steam this past year, especially since Tops came back to work with the WWE. I feel like the fans are just gonna complain about it. I would love it because like I'm a collector. I love
Mm-hmm.
collecting. I love this shit.
Yeah.
I love getting merch. It's just like you love something, you get merch for it, you hang it up on your wall, and that goes for anything beyond pro wrestling.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with
Yeah.
it. If fans are just gonna bitch about it the whole time and then just, I'm just like, ugh.
I'm just saying, a lot of people would pay a lot of money to be able to beat the hell out of John Moxley.
I was gonna say, I have a take about the Fight Forever game because I played it, and I know a lot of people bitched about the controls and everything. I didn't mind it. It's a
I
little
never got
tough,
to
but
play it,
like
so I don't know.
It's a
and
little
if they
rough around
included a
the
story, if
edges.
they included like a story mode in Fight
Exactly.
Forever,
Or you could like replay different iconic moments, like the hang swerve in the cage.
Yeah,
Like
I think
you
people
know.
also forget that like that was AEW's first venture into like doing that.
mm-hmm.
And they should do it
WWE is on game number like, uh
Yeah,
so of
32.
course it's not gonna be the most perfect thing in the world. There's still, I mean, their roster is way more solidified right now at this point, but they were
Exactly.
still like solidifying their roster and like who were gonna be people who AEW lifers or people who were just gonna be like in and out. Um, People who had like just debuted at the time the game was coming out, so they were like DLC. It's a lot, but they could have just gave y'all nothing. Like
That's
and
true.
it's like, yes, the price upon release. Do I think the game was worth that price? No, but the price went down almost immediately. Like
mm-hmm.
it dropped in price, and then you can get it and try it out, and it's like just go in and like have fun. Like you could electrocute people. Like,
That's so fun.
like so. And if they see that there's an audience for that, they'll put in the time and the effort to make more and perfect it down the line. We give WWE our money every year for the same 2K game over and over. Servers non-existent.
Mm-mm.
And
It's
people shell
ass.
out the money every year. All they do is change the cover.
They do this every year.
All they do is change the cover. Like I swear to God, like I was surprised with the game this year. Somebody had purchased it for me and got it for me, but I planned to not get it until like it was like on sale or it was for free on like PlayStation Plus, like PlayStation Game of the Month or something like that. Because for me, the only thing that would have made me want to get it is if Punk was added to the game this year because he didn't make it in last year's game. He made it in last year's game as a DLC. I bought the deluxe edition. I had gotten him with the season pass. Good. And they didn't put any new models of him in this game either. So I was perfectly content. There's still stuff I have left to do on 2K24. I didn't need a 2K25 just yet. And so if we give WWE and 2K the 100 plus every year for shit, like it's like you know,
For the island that doesn't even work.
nah.
No.
Oh, that's a hot take. Since I'm next, that's a hot take. That
There you
bloodline
go.
cover, that bloodline cover. Listen, no disrespect to the family or anybody on the cover. I am so glad that everybody who was on there got the chance to be on there. Sammy, Jimmy, and Jay, because I was 100% certain that Jay would probably be the cover star of one of the editions this year. That wasn't the case, but he got on the cover in some way. Like the Tongans, like everybody. However, the design of it is fucking ugly. It's fucking ugly. You know what it looks like? If you've ever seen The Last of Us,
Oh
you
my
know the
god.
intro where it shows the cordyceps going like it looks like that, y'all. It looks like that. I don't like I feel like there was a better way to make a family tree with them on it that looked way more visually appealing.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know, WWE uses AI to generate all their shit.
Yeah, I was not. And then like when it dropped, everybody was like I was ready to be like, "Oh, that shit is ugly." But then everybody was like loving it and I was like, "Ooh, let me shut my mouth before I get whacked to high hell." And another two other gripes with the like cover stuff for that game. How many Dead Man editions do we need, bro?
All of them.
How many Dead Man editions, DLC? Like, bro,
All of them.
and literally, there's so many other people who had a great year this past year or last year that could have gone
Jay.
on one of the editions. Like, you had Jay, you had Liv, you had Drew, you had so many people who reached a certain level of popularity last year that it could have made sense putting them on the cover or
I don't
putting
know why we put
multiple
Undertaker on
people
there.
to share a cover like they had Bianca and Rhea do last year. Like
Yeah.
I really liked last year's cover rollout. You touched all your bases. You got Cody on a cover, you got Bianca and Rhea on a cover, and then for Mania you had all your legends on a cover for the Mania edition. This one was just like, and then Roman was also on the standard, which by the way, the reveal for the standard, one, he didn't even show up to do it. Two, why are you reheating CM Punk's nachos from 2012? Why are we doing that? Because
Well, his best friend.
The reveal was literally the exact same thing. And then if you're gonna do the big reveal where it's like boom and the thing comes down, at least show up for it.
You know,
And then it turned into a Drew McIntyre segment.
Like,
I'm surprised you're complaining about that.
But the thing is, it's like you wasted my time to present a game to me. Mind you, that specific cover that they unveiled,
Mm.
they dropped it on Twitter like a month before, so it wasn't a surprise.
That they did. That they did.
But yeah, this will be like one of the unserious ones because I genuinely did not think I was gonna be talking about 2K today, but
You're welcome.
that was like festering like on the bottom, like at the bottom of my soul, and it just like it rose up in that with the AEW talk for Fight Forever. But anyway,
You're welcome.
Megs,
Okay.
or actually, Vio, did you have anything else, or did Megs
No.
or Matt want to touch on the AEW side of things? Megs, we didn't get your view on like what Vio was saying.
Well, because I'm still fairly new to AEW and everything, like, I feel like when y'all talking about Fight Forever, it feels like, in comparison to me, it's like the Power Rangers Legacy Wars game that I played on my phone, where like you use all those like characters to fight each other in a sense. So that was like the only thing that I could see in comparison to it, where like they already have their own issues of like not putting every single body from like that franchise in it at times. Like they roll it out like very weird. With me, y'all always gonna get me going back to Power Rangers and like something else that in comparison. But I just know that like if some people like Brendan Mahia who played Red Ranger Don Trench, his character still isn't in that game, and that season's been out for almost like damn near 10 years at this point. It's like they pick and choose who they want to put in there, and I'm like, it's same situation with that game in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But from my hot take, okay, I have to give Chelsea Green her flowers because a little bit because she's a good character, and I say I feel like her faux American gimmick is so much better than the Starbucks order because they played it on two different sides of like the American stuff. Like, yeah, she was president, the Secret Service. I like that gimmick better than what American made and what Chad Gable and them got going on. Like, I actually have fun seeing it. I don't have fun seeing what they got going on Raw.
Does anybody?
I don't.
I don't think so. Because, like, the Americano gimmick is, like, just straight up, like, offensive.
Yeah.
I was watching back our vlog, and I know, like, when we first saw it, we were like, "Yeah, that's kind of funny," and that's before we realized that it was gonna.
Because I didn't know what he was gonna. I thought he was
Yeah,
just
we didn't
run around in a luchador mask and, like, just the whole thing of, like, that's not
be
me.
stupid.
Like, I thought that's what it
No,
was gonna be. But I didn't know he was
so did
gonna
I.
get, like, the theme music and be beating actual luchadors and, like, interrupting them. Like,
That's the part that was spooky.
that's enough slices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's spooky.
because I do think like people like they were very thrown off by what Chelsea was doing at some point. I granted like people on Twitter they have fun with it because it's funny seeing a Canadian, a Scottish woman, well two Scottish women
Pretend to be a president and her secret service. It's
whereas
funny.
no one I don't laugh. I stopped laughing at a certain point with the Starbucks sweater stuff. I'm gonna keep calling that man that because that's literally what it is. So I just think they did that. They did the American thing a little bit better than what they did or what they're doing right now. That's just one of my hot takes.
How do you feel about that, Mads?
I mean, I don't like either gimmick. To be honest, I am not a fan of when someone creates a gimmick surrounding a title. I'm not a fan of that. And Chelsea made the US title her entire gimmick. I wasn't a fan of that because it didn't really give the opportunity for anyone else to come in and take it off of her until she was done with her gimmick. You know what I mean? Like, Meechin should have been taking that off of Chelsea when she was fighting her for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
But wasn't able to because this gimmick thing wasn't up yet. I just think it holds back a lot, you know?
I think to that point, it's like the gimmick's still going, and it's like, girl, you don't got the belt.
It's enough slices.
Like,
You don't have the title anymore, and I don't like gimmicks like this, especially with like when it's done in a way where it constantly gets in the way of when it involves the title picture and it has an effect on every single match.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this because I know we're kind of getting that dynamic now with Seth, where now he has people with him that we're probably going to see be getting involved in his matches every single time now for the foreseeable future. And we've done that a couple times with others. But even before this gimmick, every single Chelsea Green match, you had Piper getting involved. And that was very irritating. One, because I just want to see a good match. And two, I know Chelsea can go. I know Chelsea can really go.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're doing this. Now we added another person to get involved in her match. It's like it's the same thing for every single one of her matches, and it annoys the shit out of me. The whole American gimmick, regardless of what it is, especially like with the state of things now in America, I cannot get behind either one. Is it offensive? Chelsea's, no, it's just annoying, and the timing is just off. The Grande Americano shit, like that shit is beyond offensive. And I'm not Mexican, but I am Hispanic, I am Latina, and that I find it like I don't like it. I find it very distasteful.
Mm-hmm.
If there's people in the Latino or Hispanic community who are like, oh, I find it funny, I don't get, like, that's you, but that doesn't speak for like the majority or like everyone as a whole. And it's just very distasteful with and especially with the way the WWE has been acting as of recently, the last few months. I mean, you had Paul Heyman, like, literally, like, on the Pat McAfee show, like, tell somebody that they were gonna get deported. Like, it's like, I don't know how much of this is just, oh, haha, funny joke, like, whatever, and how much of it is them just being, like, just insensitive and prejudiced, just, just letting it fly
Right.
all of a sudden.
And this is something I'll give AEW credit for, because last year when MJF had the whole American gimmick with the international title,
They cut that shit.
they cut that shit.
They cut
Like
it.
they knew when
Real
to draw a
quick.
line.
And even when AEW gets called out on something, like, they drop it immediately. Like, remember the roll of quarters thing that they did to MJF? They had Juice Robinson and everybody, like, called them out on that. Okay, they dropped it. There's stuff that goes on in AEW. There's people in AEW who are very much right wing. There's, like, Tony's dad is very, like, right wing and stuff like that, and, like, he's a co-owner, so money that goes to AEW, whatever, like, who knows what he's doing, especially, like, since not Tony, his father, like, is well known, he donates to Trump and stuff like that. So it's like, that stuff aside, it's a matter of AEW's better at reading the room and, like, hiding it and not integrating so much of that into the product that the fans are getting. WWE, it's like, it's just on the screen. It's sometimes in the merch. It's in like, it's everywhere. It's
Completely
in
in
their
your
press.
face about it. Yeah.
There's a couple oddballs in AEW here and there who will, like, get on Twitter and say something, and you're like, like the night of the election when Jack Swagger was. I don't know what bro was doing. I don't know what bro was doing.
None of us know. None of us know.
Or, like, I know Camille, who was with Mercedes for a while, went, like, on an Instagram tirade, and everybody was like, "Oh," and then, like, Chris Jericho's Chris Jericho, but
Thank
yeah,
God that
they,
man's
like,
going on tour.
they're better at, like, not shoving it down your throat. So yeah, but I will agree with you, Megs, that I'll take what Chelsea's doing over what Chad Gable's doing, especially since they got Chad and American Made promoting Hogan's beer now.
Deep fried.
Yeah. It's like too on the nose of everything, and I'm like, I don't need this in what I'm watching on the television every
I don't
single
need
week.
this energy.
Because it makes me not care for the wrestler at all anymore. Because now I don't care for Chad Gable anymore, because I'm like, you're leaning into this, and it's like very distasteful. And it's like,
no,
exactly.
Like, I know people are like, oh, but, like, it's his job, whatever. But it's like, you got Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins. You have multiple people on that roster who, in the recent months, especially since before the Netflix debut, when Hogan got embarrassed when he went out there, and afterwards, who have said not nice things about Hogan and how they feel about Hogan. People on the roster. You fucking had Punk go out there and say, like,
he was gonna beat
that he was gonna
Dusty ass at the Rumble.
Dusty, mind you, he very much wanted. Bless his heart, he wanted to say something else and he had to stop himself. And then said he was gonna kill Hulkamania for good or something like that. And it's like, and I understand that, like, your Seth, your Becky's are probably, more secure on the roster to where they could probably get away with something like that than Chad Gable, maybe. But I feel like if there's other people on the roster who are denouncing Hulk Hogan, I feel like maybe you
don't
can
do that.
too. So,
and then real quick, what I will say about the Americano thing, I feel like I know where it's going, and it's like, we didn't need this to happen at all. Because we're gonna get a Mads versus Mads match eventually. And it's like, I hope they telegraph it so that man gets unmaxed, but like, we didn't need this whole thing to happen for the last couple of months. Like,
because everyone knows it's Chad
you know where
Gable.
I think this is going. You know how WWE has that new deal with AAA, right? He's gonna be on that show.
Knocking everything over. Knocking everything over. Anyway.
Mads, okay.
Mads, your turn.
Okay. All right. Should I go ahead and get VO being pissed off at me out of the way?
I guess so.
If it's your hottest take out of all of them,
It's not the hottest one, I don't think.
okay,
But maybe.
everybody leave your worst for last.
I don't think it's.
I don't think I have my. Yeah, I have my worst.
Okay. Swerve Strickland should have never lost to Bryan Danielson at All In.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah.
Wow, that's a crazy one.
Yeah.
Should have never. Okay. So I appreciate AEW for how short they keep their title reigns, especially for the World Championships. Like, I mean, that thing gets passed around. Like, it was like Samoa Joe had it for a few months, then Swerve had it for a few months, then Danielson had it for a few months, and Mox has had it for a few months now. And, like, I respect that. I like that there's new people coming in. But I think that AEW, the reason for their momentum right now and the reason, like, the thing that they need to focus on is their future. And Swerve is one of those guys that is the future of AEW.
Yeah.
I don't think that Bryan Danielson needed that title reign, especially for what he did with it, which was not a whole lot.
No.
I don't think Mox needed this title reign either.
No.
I think that this would have been a really good time for, those people that we're looking at as the future of AEW to come up and be those guys. I think that would have been the perfect spot to do it in and have Swerve retire Bryan Danielson, because that would have been huge for him.
That would have been sick.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about strapping a rocket onto somebody, like, retiring Danielson would have sent Swerve up immediately.
That would do it.
So, yeah. I think that Danielson's reign wasn't necessary. Mox's wasn't necessary.
Might not piss you off. Might piss a lot of people off. That's crazy.
No, because she said that was the one that's going to piss me off.
Yeah, because I brought up Mox.
But
no, I agree. Mox doesn't need a title. Mox needs a whole rebrand, but that's a story for another day.
I don't know where I fall on this one, because like I definitely see the reasoning, like it's a good reasoning behind like why you wanted that to be the outcome. At the same time, I know like everybody wanted that moment that Bryan had, like, everything, like wins, the the pyro, the all in, his wife, his kids in the ring, like everybody wanted that for him. And a lot of people felt like they ended up ruining that by having the retirement match be the Mox match instead, and the way that he went out like that. But I mean, in hindsight, if what they were going to do is how they went about it, then maybe you are right. Maybe they should have just, because they were saying it was very much his retirement from full-time action, not like as a whole. And I feel like if it's somebody's retirement match, whether they win or lose, like, you can do all the pomp
you should be handing it off to them
anyway, like even if it's not for a title. So I do see that. So the more I'm like thinking about it, the more I'm like on
Yeah.
on
That's
here.
yeah. Because that's like if that like you were saying, like if it was his retirement from like action as a whole, the correct thing to do would have been a passing of the torch thing, and that should have gone to Swerve Strickland, not Mox, who's been here since the beginning. I love
like,
you, Mox.
with that one, like, you're not beating the ex WWE.
No,
You're not.
no.
They haven't for a while. Like John Mox, like bro, fucking cope. Like what? Bro, like oh my gosh,
Oh, dog.
dude.
At his grown age, that's the best he could come up with.
But I think, like Via was touching on earlier about their momentum, I think the reason why AEW is so hot right now is because of all the younger talent that's coming
for
up.
sure.
Like
Yeah.
Swerve, Hangman, Ospreay, Takeshita,
Kyle.
Fletcher. Like, yeah, those guys are the reason for AEW coming up. And like, that's just on the men's side. Like the women, you have Tony, Mariah, if she still stays, Willow, Mina, like
Statlander.
yeah, Stat too.
Yeah, Statlander, like Hater, like
there's
Billy Stark, Sky Blue just came back.
Athena, like
bro, Athena might not be on that fucking all. There's no way, bro. There's no way. What's her name on Twitter? What's her name? Ito L.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out you. If you're out there, if you're listening, I know this individual, I don't want to like get
watch the name. It's
pronouns.
L. I just know him as L.
Wrong, but L, like, I feel you. I swear to God, I do. Like,
because why does the men's Ring of Honor title gets to be defended all the time on AEW television and the women's doesn't?
The thing is, they had her promoting the shit. They had her standing in front of like the All In Texas thing, like with Mercedes, like she's holding the Ring of Honor title, like that she's held for fucking ever.
Mm-hmm.
She's a beast. She's putting on like the most like mind-blowing matches. Her character work, her promo work has improved immensely. Like, this woman is phenomenal. And then how could you look at the match that she just had with Mercedes
and be like, no, we're not putting this on All In.
That's not good. What?
Like, I'm hoping we're all just like being like, you know, swerved. Like, I hope we're all just like,
I hope so.
She's on it.
Because
holy shit.
I hope Athena cost Mercedes in the Owen Hart final.
That has to be it. That has to be it. And then we get the two of them at All In.
Title for title.
Yes.
Like,
that's the match. Hell, fuck what everybody. I'm so sorry, Mads. I know you love Will Ospreay. Like, like, fuck everybody else. Like, let that close the show. Like, I'm so sick. Like, I need these women to close the show.
I hate to tell you, Anarchy at the Arena is probably main eventing.
All In?
Oh, no, not All In. No.
Oh, I'm talking about All In.
Oh.
Lord have mercy.
I thought you were talking about Double or Nothing.
I was about to have a stroke. What do you mean?
I should have screen recorded the crash out you had during Beach Break, dog.
Oh my god.
If y'all could have heard what me and Meggs heard
of the Anarchy in the Arena this year that I think is really cool is we're getting an intergender Anarchy in the Arena. That's fucking sick. However, the other aspects of it and how it came together, I need a thorough, like 10-page long, like,
wait,
good
are you talking about the
explanation.
Gabe Kidd thing being in it?
From Gabe Kidd, like, what? Gabe Kidd was just shitting on the Bucks, like, how many days ago? Like, in the ring. And then, why are the Bucks and Moxley cool? Aren't the Bucks?
That's like, the one thing I don't really understand.
Of everything Moxley hates about what the company has become.
Yes.
Like, Oh.
Yes, I'm also confused.
There's someone out
I-
there that did make a whole like write up about like why this all makes sense. I don't remember it really off the top of my head. I'll have to find it.
Someone made like a
again,
little
but-
picture graph.
If you out there, please hit me up at Punker Tony on Twitter.
The door is locked.
The door is locked. I'll let you in for this explanation, please, because like I need it. You know.
Somebody made like a picture graph and had Mox, the Bugs, Gabe Kidd, and Kenny for some reason. It's like Kenny
Well,
hates the
as
Young
far
Bucks.
as I know, with Gabe Kidd, the thing is that like he's talked vocally, obviously, like you referenced about the Bucks and everything. He's talked about how much he doesn't like what AEW is doing,
Yeah.
and
Which
him
lines
and
up with
Moxley are
Mox.
aligned in that
Yes. I don't know why the Bucks are here.
in that aspect. There was something, I can't remember if it was a promo or not, but it was like one of the last things the Bucks said or something before they went away for 6 months was something about like this is not the company they created or something like that.
So then what?
And so I guess through that's how they're aligned. I don't remember the exact wording of the promo, but it's something along those lines to where it aligns.
I feel like there's been so much going on, like all across the board, that for AEW, like I forget, like like there's always, and I think with Mox, I'm very tired of the same ending to the matches. And before someone comes in and it's like, for WWE did the same shit with like Roman and everything, and when he was
and that was annoying.
I hated that shit too.
I hated it. I hated it then. I hate it now.
Like I know the rest of the Fam Slam is all like, you know, put the ones up. I'm the outlier. Okay, I do not support Roman Reigns' rights and wrongs. I'm not.
I don't either.
Well, you're not ready for my hot take then. My next one.
Ruh-roh.
Can I just say real quick? Because like I came into like watching AEW in the midst of like right in the middle of the Death Riders story.
Yeah, you joined at
and I feel like as much as I've enjoyed what they're doing, I feel like it's being counterproductive with trying to set up who will dethrone Mox. Like I would have thought at least like the cracks with like the trios title situation with them, that would have like led to something.
But no.
But it's like what is actually the end game with them? Like is it gonna go back to Swerve? Is it gonna go to Will? Like eventually like whatever like they're doing, I'm not as enthused a little bit because I'm like, y'all keep coming after people, but no one in your own group has the balls to like really hit the crack so that we can get this moving. Because like I want to see like Irina. I don't know
the problem.
Well, Irina is drowning in Kool-Aid, so
yeah.
I was just about to say that too.
Has like the craziest mind control going on right now.
It's
like,
bad.
Like somebody please
that poor boy down bad.
He went from being so on the fence to like Vio start reciting the fucking like Winter Soldier shit, like because that's what it is. Like it's when you say like the words and the date and shit, and then he locked in. Like that's what it's been. Yeah. That's what it's been. Yuta.
What are the Winter Soldier words again?
He looks he's emo now. Like what happened?
The Kool-Aid.
The plot of the movie.
Because what I would have thought, like, because like I remember vaguely when like he was with Danielson and when that turn happened. I remember seeing it in clips, and I'm like, okay, he can be the one, but like he's still drowned in him. Like I would rather see that. Hell, I wouldn't mind even seeing Claudio like break off, but like
it was about to get there.
It seemed like it was getting to that point. Yes, Vio, because I remember
he was crashing the fuck out.
He was crashing out, and then I remember when Cope had a match was it with Yuta? And like afterwards he like showed Yuta respect or whatever. He was basically telling him like this is what actual respect looks like. And Yuta looked like somewhat conflicted, and that went nowhere.
Right.
Nowhere. We keep retconning. You know what? That takes me into my next hot take because I think it's mine next, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. We keep retconning things in the Death Rider storyline specifically that would have made it 10 times better, and they need us to stop fucking doing that.
Retconning has been happening for like quite some time before the Death Rider story, and it's a big.
I know. It's a big AEW problem. But like my problem specifically.
I remember the devil. I don't. Stop. 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 I don't. Stop. Shut up.
But yeah, AEW has a very serious retconning problem, and it sucks because a lot of the things that they retcon would have made the storylines that they got going on a lot better than they already are. Like, when Claudio was crashing the fuck out and Mox just barely was able to calm him down, I want to see more of that. Like, why is Claudio not crashing the fuck out anymore? Where'd that go? All of a sudden he's good? All of a sudden he's fine now? He's fine? Like, give me Yuta, who's like conflicted between what Cope was saying to him and how he's actually being treated in the Death Rider. Like, give me more interactions with Wheeler Yuta of people treating him the way he should be treated, like with respect, with the way he's supposed to be treated, like he's on their level, and let me see that confliction between Yuta, like Yuta being like, is this how I'm supposed to be treated? Like, is this what I really want to subject myself to? Like, I just want things to be better, man.
Because like there's only so many times I could get whacked and damn near unalived in the ring while my leader just stands in the crowd like
just stays there
before
yes, I when Yuta was Yuta was getting his ass beat in the multiple times. The first time
this happened more than once.
Like the same segment multiple times. One or two of them get fucked up in the ring, and Mox is in the crowd like
he's in the crowd.
Yuta has been used as a sacrifice.
Chair, like
Yuta has been used as a sacrifice. Straight up died in the ring, and Mox has done fuck all. Fuck all. And I hate it. He gets paralyzed the minute he sees a chair. I need him to get over that goddamn shield trauma right now, okay? If I had to do it, so does he, okay? A fucking steel chair is not going to stop you. Get your ass in the ring and get your damn people. I'm tired of it. Because how many times do I have to die in the ring for you to come out and help me? I have pledged my unwavering loyalty to you. And you not gonna help me? You just gonna stand over on the barricade posing? You not gonna help me?
The one time he ate was when there was a brawl in the ring. I forgot who it was who was doing all that flippy shit, and he just went, stop. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Like,
but like,
what the fuck are you doing? Like, that. That's the one time he ate. I love that. Like, give me more of that.
AEW has a very serious retconning problem, and they need it to stop right now. That's it.
Y'all's thoughts?
I mean,
I have no thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the one that I will say, it feels like if Wheeler had the Solo Sokola problem, where like he's supposed to be the heir and he's not being treated like he is, like he should be the next up in line. Yeah, that's just my thinking of it. Because I'm like, at the end of the day, like, how is the Death Rider story going to end? And I feel like the only way for it to actually end is not an outsider. It's really just going to be Wheeler just getting out of that brainwash. But that's it.
Somebody got to say the Winter Soldier activation words near him. That's what I'm going to do when we go in September. You to get anywhere close to the barricade. You to get anywhere close to the barricade, I'm just going to be going longing, rusting, like... 17.
Yeah.
That's it. Yuta's got to go through some serious development before he even gets close to trying to turn on Jon Moxley. Because at this point, that's not happening.
I want AEW to shock me, bro. Do the Monday Night Raw shit from a couple weeks ago where Io beat Rhea for the title and everybody's like, what the fuck? On a random Monday Night Raw. If Samoa Joe would have won that shit on Wednesday.
The way I
would have did that with the trios titles, did they not?
the thing is, I knew that
nobody care about the trios title.
No, nobody cares about the trios title, but they did do the shock thing.
The minute the ops became a thing, I knew, I was like, okay, I think they're the next trios champions. So I wasn't really shocked for me personally. Smojo. But if he had won that title on Wednesday, I feel like that would have restored a lot of goodwill with AEW, because it would have been a shock value that probably a lot of people would have enjoyed. And then you can continue telling that Death Rider story with like, okay, now he doesn't have the title anymore. Why are we following?
Now what are you gonna do? Yeah.
And that could be like the real first crack in the foundation. Obviously, you still have to deal with them and get rid of them as a group, like terrorizing the roster. Go off and tell that story, but like, get the title away from it, dog. Get it away, please.
I bet you that title ain't even in that damn briefcase.
Maybe it's sitting at home. I don't know.
It's definitely sitting at home. Bro. Box got that shit above the fireplace.
There's no way it's in that briefcase until this man comes down that mountain. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way we're doing all of this.
Yeah, I would be mad.
There's no way. And if it was the way, change the way.
Change it now. Change it now.
I would be mad. I wouldn't even be mad for just the title thing in general. I would be mad for Will Ospreay and Hangman. That's who I would be mad for.
Will Ospreay, Hangman, Swerve Strickland, hell, fuck, Takeshita, Kenny, Kyle Fletcher, like literally so many people that I would rather see with that title, who have been busting their ass all year, putting on, like, we have multiple match of the year candidates, not even on just PLEs from AEW.
Weekly television.
Pay-per-views. Oh my god. Like, pay-per-views from AEW. Someone's going to crucify me for that.
But weekly television. Like,
yeah, like weekly television. Like,
just a random.
And it's all those guys. It's all of them. Now you have Kevin Knight is his name.
Yes.
Who just came in.
Yes.
Him. You have Air Fox, who's been getting more TV time.
That's my
like Josh Alexander, bro. Which, by the way, the pairing of Takeshita and Josh Alexander on Wednesday was godly. They worked so well together.
Beautiful.
I love Proto Shida, but I will accept this.
Yes, like I love it as well, but that was an awesome pairing, and it was great storytelling to have a pairing that was just such a tight-knit, cohesive unit against a pairing like that the whole time is like fighting by the skin of their teeth to like keep it together to get the job done. I thought that was beautifully done. So yeah, good on those four gentlemen for that match and the story they were telling there. But yeah, like all of those men right now killing it. If it's not one of them that's supposed to dethrone Mox, I
don't know what we're doing anymore.
I give up.
I give up.
I feel like time was wasted by that.
Can we skip me and go to Meg? I feel like I talk too much. I swear,
you're good.
You're good.
Yeah, what's the point of this?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yes.
We're airing out the grievances.
What's the point of this?
It's a safe space. Let it out. And granted, it's not as much of a safe space as we recorded and it's out, but like, this is your show. Do what you want to do.
And if the minute this drops, I log out of everything so that you can't whack me. I'm not around to be whacked.
I'm not here.
Tony, your doors are locked anyways. Who's gonna get you?
Aisha!
Not you dropping a grenade in the spot and running away.
I ain't worried about the outside folks. For the later stuff we get into, it's the people in the house.
Tony setting up a pipe bomb and then running. Like
all right. All right.
Stand behind that shit.
The whole argument that this current John Cena heels run, title run, is perfectly fine because it's supposed to be bad on purpose is bullshit.
Thank
And
you.
a
I
reason
agree.
I say that is because we already got the champion that gives us nothing and never shows up in Roman Reigns. We already had it. We already did it. We already had it. It's the same, like, and it was not. It was
I
not
should
this
go
bad.
back though.
It was not. It was not Travis Scott pulling up to interfere in matches. It wasn't Fiend. It wasn't none of that.
Stop.
It wasn't.
My thing is like John Holy said that shit in kayfabe. So why are we using a kayfabe statement to justify real life actions?
Especially because it wasn't.
Because you know them people don't think.
The vision. It wasn't the. And they've come out and said they wanted Cody to turn, or The Rock wanted Cody to turn. He didn't, and so they were like, okay, John instead. And now they're like just throwing shit at the wall trying to make it work. John is playing like the most cartoon villain of all time. I can't take seriously. Like, and I bro. But yeah, that's not an excuse because we already got that version of a terrible world champion in Roman Reigns. We did, and it was not this. It was not this. This is horrendous. This is horrible. If there's someone out there who likes it and you're fucking with it, great. It's your right to like it. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong. In my opinion, this is not justifiable, especially when we're dropping bans for this shit. Like, if I paid the money that some people paid to be there on night 2 of WrestleMania, and that's the way they went off the air,
I want my money back.
Full refund plus.
We're shutting down. Vegas is getting shut down. Vegas is getting shut down. And I'm gonna need to be taken into custody because there's no way.
I would end up on the 9 o'clock news, brother. I would.
There's no way. No emergency broadcast. Like somebody's like a program is getting cut off for an emergency broadcast. That's what it's gonna be.
Exactly.
Because there's no way. People pay thousands to be there for that. Cody Rhodes and John Cena was not for me, but it was a dream match for a lot of people. Ugh. And that's what they did. Even if we get it again and Cody gets it back from John, it's like, what? We did all this for to be back where we were before John I don't know. I don't think Cody needs to be further solidified as like the good or the like the top guy but whatever. But yeah, that's not a justifiable excuse for what they currently have going on with John. And I feel bad for John, honestly, especially if it's the case of like this wasn't what he intended for his retirement tour. And because of The Rock's suggestion and everything, things got switched around, and now he has to put on this character because it looks like when he's having these final matches in these cities for the last time, he wants to show appreciation to the people there, and he wants to be in the moment. But because of the cards he's been dealt and the character he currently has to play, he can't do that.
And I hate that for him.
So, but yeah.
I think at some points he's mailing it in, and I'm like, I don't need you to do that. Like, you're here for a good time, not a long time at this point. We have like about 20 appearances left. I'm like, you're barely going to still be here. I'm like, I don't need this. I literally was like, when Backlash happened, I was like, well, these are two. And I was tweeting the show, mind you. I had to get on my account and tell Chris, these are two old men wrestling. because I didn't like it. Like I didn't like it at some points. I'm like, y'all are moving too slow. Like Randy Orton carried that match, and I'm like, I didn't need to see this.
It was like there's times where finisher spams are
too
okay
much
for me, and then there's times where like if we're starting the finisher spam and y'all been in there for like 5 minutes,
yeah,
wrap it up.
That the finisher spam needs to be earned. It needs to be the match has been going on for a while, and you're getting desperate to put these people like this person away, and that's how it like and then we went through how many referees? Nick Aldis,
all of them,
Jamie Noble, Hurricane Helms. Like my God, bro. At this point, I was like, where's Charles Robinson? Because he's about the only one left back there that can get the shit done. Who else? Yeah.
It felt weird, and I hated it. I'm like, the whole show was just weird. But that's not the point of this conversation.
But like the first 3 matches, like we were coasting, bro. We were like, it was like the sun was shining. Mind you, I was asleep. But when I watched it back, for like anybody who doesn't follow me on Twitter or doesn't know, I took a nap at like 6:30 before Backlash. I woke up and the Unks were in the ring. So I did miss the live broadcast of Backlash. I had to watch it the following morning with my mother on Mother's Day. Shout out, Mom. Happy Mother's Day to everybody, moms who's watching and everything, by the way. But like I missed the whole thing, and when I watched it back, I was like, okay, the opener was great. Shout out to those 4 men. Lyra and Becky. Lyra Valkyria. Come get your baddie chain, bro. How do you've been on the main roster for less than a year, and you kicked out of 2 manhandle slams?
2.
Go. Bird lady. Like, hell yeah, bro. Holy shit. Wow. Yeah. That got me. Dom and Penta was phenomenal until ending. I don't know why you just didn't let those guys hoop, because they were hooping.
God forbid, Hunter lets the fucking hoopers hoop, bro. God forbid.
Yeah, and then after that, we got into the bullshit. But yeah. So, but that's my second take. This John Cena thing is just, stop making excuses for that, bro. And it's not it.
This part-time schedule. I would just say to add that part-time schedule of Cena, I hate it still. Like, I hate it. Like, it doesn't make sense for me. Like, in just, but that man had to go shoot a movie. But still, if you knew you were retired this year, and I said this before, if you are a retirement tour, please show up to every single date available. Like, at least Kobe, when he was hurt, he showed up. A lot of these guys, hell, even Paul Pierce, he showed up and he didn't even technically have a retirement tour. Shout out to Draymond. But just show up to work.
References and we know what the
I think Roman has more appearances this year than John. What the fuck? What timeline are we in?
I was gonna say, where are we at?
That's crazy work. How you gonna get beaten by Roman Reigns in terms of like actually showing up to work? That's nuts.
And he's still gone. He's back. He left again. Like, we barely even see John. So
don't even get me started on that shit. Don't even get me started on that shit.
All right, so
let's get to the next take before I really piss people off.
Okay, so my next take, I'm gonna take it down to NXT. because I have a
Oh.
gripe, and it's not about who you think it is. I feel like they are not. Well, now they kind of are, but in a sense, my hot take, or just a grievance, is that Wesley deserves to be next in line for that NXT championship, especially during the Trick Williams reign. They teased it, we didn't get it. They gave us Ridge Holland instead. And that's what pissed that was a nail on the head that pissed me off with that reign, because I would have thought that Wes would have been the one to take it from Trick, and we'd have gotten a better showing for Trick in that reign, with Wes helping him out in that feud. But we never got it. And I just feel like ever since Wes came back, yeah, he had a chance to go after Oba. He had that moment, and you had him do other things. But I'm like, he's around, but he's not in the conversation to be the next to have that title. Like, it's the same three guys right now in that conversation, and it's a good thing they have Miles as the next opponent for Oba. But I don't like that they've been having Wes not do a lot. And I'm like, I need y'all to really take this man seriously. Granted, it's been a year, and we're a year removed from him coming back, but like, he should have been in that conversation to be next up for that championship.
Yeah. Yeah. The way that they're like half in, half out on Wesley is very puzzling to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it feels like that men's division. That's the problem with the men's division. Like, you have people have moments, and then you don't run it back. You don't actually see it through with some people.
Yeah,
Like,
they like half-ass their men's division, and I kind of hate that.
Well, the problem, I mean, in my eyes, is that they utilize the exact same like 4 people to be the main guys in the men's division. And they don't do any, and I know they're supposed to be a developmental brand, but they don't develop any of the people outside of them to come up and take those opportunities from them. And like, if you aren't developing those guys to come up and be the future, and you're not doing anything in free agency to get more men on the roster, your men's division is going to suffer, and it has.
I feel like the heel turn is what started the downwards trajectory, because they didn't execute it very well.
Wait, which heel turn?
For Wes.
Oh.
It started out fairly decent with everything, with Zachary Wentz and the matches that they had, him turning on like the Rascals and everything, but like then afterwards, it's because there would be long periods where you just wouldn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
He'd become like an afterthought for a bit, and then they had a thing where he went out there when Ricky debuted, and then they had him get like embarrassed by Ricky and everything. And it's like, so is he a heel that we're supposed to take seriously or not? So I feel like his trajectory was like, it was just put to a halt when they turned him heel out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't recovered from that, in my opinion.
And there wasn't a payoff for it either. There hasn't been a payoff at all since then. And it's like, you turn someone heel, you don't. What's the actual, like, when they do this, they don't have an actual plan for these people to have a payoff, like, in the future. So it's like, he's just there. Even with like him going at Ricky, it could have just been like, oh, okay, let me actually get a title shot, not pit me in a 4-way situation and me lose. That didn't make sense. So yeah, that's really my only gripe with that.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah.
my next take.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to read it how I wrote it down.
Oh, God.
Seth Rollins deserves to be in greatest of all time conversations / on Mount Rushmores. Not alongside, but over Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yes. Yes.
No, okay, listen. So here's my take on Roman Reigns, right? Like, yes, I understand that you were a pivotal part in this new age of WWE, right? I understand that, you and the Bloodline story elevated the WWE into this thing that has reached unforeseen heights, right? But let's not sit here and act like that at the exact same time this was going on, Seth Rollins wasn't the workhorse of WWE. Let's not sit here and act like Seth Rollins didn't play a part in this whole building up WWE thing too, because he absolutely did.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as looking at the wrestler, not the outside business side contributions, right? Looking at the wrestler specifically, if you take away Roman Reigns' promo work, which another hot take, I don't think is that good. If you take away Roman Reigns' promo work or cinema, if you will, what's left?
Nothing.
What's left?
Nothing.
Because I hate to say this, Solo and Jimmy Uso are better wrestlers than Roman Reigns. And if we're looking at greatest of all time on Mount Rushmore, that's the whole package, right? Seth Rollins can cut good promos. Seth Rollins is insane in the ring. Seth Rollins is the full package. So, with all of that, looking at Roman Reigns, where do they compete with each other?
I feel like they use the long reign as the point for him to be on that Mount Rushmore. And I'm like,
but that's
a
backstage business decision. That's
and
not.
That's
nothing to do with.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like they use like that. That's the only thing in a sense. But like
wow, Triple H said you could hold this belt for 5 years. Cool. It doesn't mean shit to me. I'm sorry.
Especially when you look at like the amount of defenses, and yes, I'm gonna bring up the amount of defenses. There was a post the other day showing, like, it was asking like which title reign like is the best out of like the modern long title reigns, and it was Punk, AJ Styles, Roman, and Brock Lesnar. The fucking Brock Lesnar one is the most egregious thing I've seen in the world. Like that many defenses in that many days was just horrendous. Roman was not far behind.
No.
Yep.
AJ Styles, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, AJ Styles held that title for Yeah, 371 days, and he had 111 defenses. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Now, this next thing, this ain't even fucking glazed. This is fact, okay? And nobody is going to change my mind on this shit. 434 days as champion for CM Punk. 149 defenses in 434 days. You do the math. That's a title defense every 2 to 3 fucking days between Raw, SmackDown, house shows, and pay-per-views. And I say pay-per-views because at the time they were still pay-per-views. No wonder the dude fucking got burnt out and left when he did. I'm not saying that we need to have those kind of reigns now where you're working
Right.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're gonna sit up here and call what Roman had, like his title reign, the greatest title reign of all time, simply because of the length and not like the quality of what we got
From it?
during
Yeah.
the reign, I can't have a serious argument about it. I cannot. You don't need to like be killing yourself like you know, like Punk and it like was back in the day, but give me something.
You know?
Yeah.
If you're gonna hold it for like 3+ years, like come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like Matt said, as far as the whole package, and this is why if your GOAT list, typically you have two. You have your GOATs, is like your favorites, your personal favorites, and then your like actual like GOAT list.
Like who's the best of all time in your
like
opinion?
who's the best. And the people that I have at the top of that list are people who fit the total package. They check off every box with flying colors. That is your wrestling ability, your character work, your promo ability, your crowd work, you know, like ring psychology, like just everything across the board. You pass with flying colors.
Yep.
Or you do it at a level that others don't. He does not make my top
50.
Yeah.
He doesn't. If I'm like going out, if I'm just doing WWE people alone, maybe. If I'm doing of within the industry, I don't even think he cracks 100.
No,
not even close.
For me,
not even close.
No.
And again, this isn't based on business metrics and money and everything like that. This is like
I would say I'd never use business metrics
what
in my
you're
arguments about wrestlers.
doing.
Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, Vio, you're.
I'm up next.
That's your. I know that's your father. You can weigh in on it.
No. He doesn't crack top 50 for me either.
Yeah.
Okay. He don't.
I mean, I feel like we should have.
Yeah,
we should have learned We learned a long time ago from the Shield days that.
I'm just saying there was a reason
not,
that Seth and Dean did most of the talking.
Not even that. I'm saying there's a reason why Seth and Dean did all the fucking work in the ring, and then at the very end, Roman would come in and either do a spear or do the power bomb, and that would be the end of it.
Yep.
You know what I just had a thought? I hate to say this. Oh my! I might get hit.
Oh, you're gonna get
whacked? By who? By who?
I
don't know, but I feel like someone might come at me for this take, and it just came to me when you were talking about the Shield.
That's the point of this.
Okay, go. So I fear that
you fear.
How can I word this? Roman at that time, the same way that Jade was recently in the tag ring. Just used for the ending of it, the moment, the pop, just to get.
Well. If I speak.
That's why I was like, I
see stars, bro. I actually see stars.
Like that compared, like I just thought about that, but like in the end, it may be a good payoff in the future. But I can see the side by side comparison, and that. I'm gonna shut up.
You know? You can keep going. Just keep. processing. That's all.
That just threw me. Is it? Like,
I'm booting up. I'm just.
I'm finding it. I'm finding it.
Did it take you that
And-
long to find it?
And because like, mind you, I know nothing about the show before, but when we're talking about it and like I go back and actually watch this stuff, I'm like, okay, it makes sense.
It's bad.
Like why I
Yeah.
think this in a moment, because it's a parallel. And I'm like, it may with Jade, it may pay off in the end, but the way that they're using them and it's the way that they function in those settings, it's a very mirror.
Entirely wrong. You're not entirely wrong.
The more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
So that's
the tragic part.
and that's nothing against that lady. I enjoy her, but like I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Jade.
That's it. And that wasn't even my actual thing. And that just came to me. Okay.
Sometimes things just pop up.
You know.
Okay.
Who was next?
Well, no, I mean we have to discuss it.
Yeah, but who was next?
It's you.
It's me?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay, so my last one.
No,
wait, are
Actually,
we?
It's Mads.
No, I already said mine. The Seth thing.
Yeah, that was Matt.
Yes.
Meggs.
She started this.
Matt started
the
it.
Seth thing. She jumped in.
Oh, that wasn't your take. You just jumped in.
Yeah. Because like she brought up the
We
shield.
were talking about the shield.
That wasn't even the take. Holy shit.
No.
That
It could have been. It could have been. But
Holy shit.
Meg said no.
Oh,
Meg said no.
damn. Okay, go.
Sorry, go.
Alright, so the last one that I have, like the last serious one I have, is that the way WWE PLEs are currently set up ruins the importance of the events. And the way I say that, what I mean by that is like, they feel almost a little too close together. Either they're too close together or WWE just not know how to build for the storylines in between these different PLEs, and it just, everything, like, for example, we had WrestleMania, and then Backlash was like, what, 2 weeks later? And the only thing we really got a build for was Cena Orton, and that was like a dumpster fire. So, like, yeah, I think just the WWE PLEs are, like, too close together, and WWE does not know how to build storylines in the meantime for these different PLEs. So I think we need to space them out a little. Or, you know, just, I don't even know what.
I get it.
I get what
You're
you're saying, yeah.
Because, like, that's the way it's going to be until, like, the only break we're getting, kind of,
September, right?
even
After SummerSlam?
is, like,
Yeah, September.
leading, September, or, like, a little bit leading into SummerSlam, but they're about to announce Evolution, so that's not even, because, and then June has
And nothing's going to be built for that.
June has two events. Because, like,
that's the problem.
we're going to
Like,
have
they
Night of Champions,
Mm-hmm.
and then Evolution, and then SummerSlam.
Mhm.
We have Saturday Night Main Event, which is like, it's not a PLE, but
We should have gotten rid of those.
We have two Saturday Night
We
Main
didn't need
events.
those.
One in May, because that's also next weekend.
It's the week, yeah, it's the weekend of Double or Nothing.
We should have never gotten Saturday Night Main events.
They should have made them
They're
special
not necessary.
attractions. Because they should have made them special attractions, not something you get every.
They're not
every
Glorified house shows.
4 of them a year. 4 of them,
And they're
year,
not.
like,
They're not necessary because they spend more time building for stuff for Saturday Night Main Event than they do the actual PLEs. And it's irritating. Because the PLEs are supposed to be these big dramatic shows that highlight, the best of your roster. Why are we not doing more building for those? Why is there, like, I think I made a video about it over Backlash. Backlash used to be one of my favorite PLEs.
Mm-hmm.
Because the hype for that used to be amazing. It was something to look forward to after WrestleMania, after, like, the biggest of the biggest. And this year, I genuinely didn't care. Like, for once, I was happy that I was working during a PLE because I genuinely did not care.
Can I say something real quick to add to the whole
Go ahead.
Backlash thing? I didn't even watch it. I haven't watched
I
it
didn't
yet.
either. Only thing I watched was Dom's match and Cena Randy.
I haven't
That's
even
it.
done that. I've seen
I
no
don't-
match from Backlash.
I don't like. It should have. They need to go back to the like one PLE a month.
Exactly.
The way that it was when they had like pay-per-views, and then for Mania, nothing in March, and then SummerSlam, nothing in July, so that we can have those big build-ups leading onto, and then
Exactly.
Backlash. Why the fuck? Because this is gonna piss me off.
Go ahead.
Because I know that tag match at Saturday Night Main Event is not gonna be the main event. The main event of that show is gonna be whatever John Cena match that they have, and it's gonna be fucking R-Truth. You're telling me? You're telling me that the main event of that show is gonna be John Cena versus R-Truth and
Cena
not
old man versus
Seth
Cena old man.
Rollins and Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman in their corner versus Sami Zayn and CM Punk? They're probably gonna fucking open. Are you insane? Why wasn't that on Backlash? That should have been a Backlash match. That would have like met the requirements to be a Backlash match, because that's dealing with the fallout of WrestleMania. That's the whole point of Backlash. What at Backlash, besides the 4-way, really was a continuation of Mania? Maybe Dom Penta,
Becky
Lyra.
but I mean, the turn for that happened after Mania.
I guess if that's what they're counting as like Fallout, then yes, it technically does kind of count.
Gunther and
we didn't need Cena Orton on Backlash. I get it; it was St. Louis, but their interaction happened that Monday.
The thing I don't like about that is the fact that they build it as like the last time ever for Cena and Orton, and it's like you burned that match. You burned that immediately.
Backlash?
Yeah.
And then like Cody, like the shit with Cody, bro. I thought that was gonna be the last thing. I thought that was gonna be like the official end of his reign, like passing the torch to Cody as like,
yes, that's what it should have been.
And it was
that's what it should.
It was the first one, and it ended the way that it did.
So far, all of Cena's matches have just been ass. And matches that should not have been burned this early.
The only one that wasn't ass was the Chamber.
Yeah, Chamber was good.
Honestly,
but he had to be carried by literally everybody else besides Logan Paul. Fuck Logan Paul.
Yep.
But
to the day I die.
That entire I'm getting hot.
It's okay.
Hot, bro. But who's next?
You.
All right. This next one, bro. I need
breathe.
I need the what are they called? The moshers, please.
Oh.
Bear with me. Bear with me.
We gonna get taken off the air. We gonna get taken off the internet, Tony. Watch.
Bear with me.
Watch yourself.
Keeping Rhea Ripley in the title picture is doing her more harm than good.
They don't even want her in the title picture anymore.
I say that because people are either A, turning on her, and I'm not just referring to like the live audience in attendance, like as someone who goes to the shows a lot as well in person, you gonna pop for everybody. Like you're gonna pop for everybody. Yeah. I fucking popped for Cody Rhodes. I don't like Cody Rhodes. I did the whoa.
His theme song's just fun to do.
Whoa in the shit. I paid $300 to be there. I'm gonna do the whole shebang if I'm there. Like it don't matter. So that entire it just makes it. I grow tired, and I love her to pieces, but it's not doing her any favors. And I agree with the people who are saying like, oh, she needs to do a side quest, and to the people who are saying, why would the most popular woman in the women's division be doing side quests? Of course, she's in the title picture all the time. You have people who are top stars, especially like on the men. You got Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. All those people aren't vying for a title right now. They're doing side quests. Roman Reigns is doing a side quest. He's the biggest name in the company outside of Cody Rhodes. Just because you're a big name does not mean you're in the title picture 24/7. That's the quickest way for people to grow tired of you and turn on you. That's why people got so irritated with John Cena back in the day.
Yep.
That's why people initially, or one of the reasons why Roman, it was so hard to get behind Roman, because you saw the writing on the wall. You saw that they were intentionally putting him in that position because they wanted him at the top of the card, and people were like, no, stop. Rhea is not at that point yet. I don't want her to get to that point because I love Rhea. I want to see Rhea do other things.
I
want to see Rhea fight other people. You don't need you keep looking at the title like a lost puppy. You held it for a year, you lost it, and then you want it back. Somebody else got to hold that bitch. Several other people before you get it back.
I think the problem with Rhea currently, and like I love her too, but I think the reason why people are starting to kind of turn on her a bit is because not only is she still in the title picture, but she hasn't had any sort of character development. Like
I think the only character development she has, I'm sorry, man. I think the only character development is like her not putting hands on Io afterwards. Like after that match. Like being upset, but then just like leaving it alone instead of putting hands on her and starting a confrontation. But like that's very minimal.
Yeah, she hasn't had like a big character development. Even when they turned her face, right? Like there wasn't anything there. There wasn't anything after the whole Liv feud that happened. She's been basically the same character or had the same, thought process, ideals, like things like that since she was previously like in the Judgment Day. And I think that in order for people to not necessarily turn on her, because I mean, if you really want to, you can keep her in the realm of the title picture, right? But if you don't change or have her have this like, come to Jesus moment essentially, or like an ego death, people are going to get tired of her because she's going to become stale character wise.
Yeah.
I thought that would have happened in that backstage interview, but then like they retconned that immediately,
which was the stupidest thing.
Fuck all that.
Because why was she being? Why she was complaining the whole time during the feud leading up to WrestleMania, and I'm like, shut up. And I like Rhea too, but I'm like, just shut up. Like this is not making me.
Point.
Yeah, cause like you feel now you're just entitled to it, and I'm like, I get it. Like that was your thing, that was your championship, but at the end of the day, you got injured. You had to vacate it. You lost the title. Move on. Move on.
Lost the title, lost the man, lost everything.
And yet she still didn't have any sort of development after all those things happened to her.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
I don't know, if it was me and I lost everything, I would have been going through like stage 5 psychosis. I don't know.
Yeah.
They would have emergency broadcasts for me. Everybody getting whacked, whether you had something to do with me losing everything or not. Everybody's getting it.
That would have been a better crash out
Oh,
to
well.
see. But
You know?
but they just didn't do it. They didn't go full all the way. Like literally that backstage interview is not canon at all. Like she had that one moment of realization, and then next week it just was totally different. And like she should have crashed. She really should have crashed out after WrestleMania. To be honest, that would have been something else. But we didn't get that.
Nope.
Because like that would have helped with the character development to help her realize like she has a problem, and it's to reevaluate. So,
but no.
Speaking of reevaluation,
that was your turn.
It is.
All right.
It's about the man that blocked me, and and as much as I was becoming more endeared to what he was giving us on television, with the segments of Sammy and AJ Styles. I'm confused on where this push for him to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match has come from. I don't see a lot of where are people actually are as fans. Like I see only vaguely a hand, like people I can count on one hand of how people on my timeline are actually invested in what he has going on. But I'm not completely sold on what he even like whatever this is going on. Like, I'm not sold.
For those that don't know, Meggs is talking about Karrion Kross. I feel like, she just said the man who blocked her, but mind you, not a whole lot of people.
Caught up on Femme.
Karrion Kross blocked Meggs on Twitter, so
and I still don't know.
Absolutely hysterical because he interacts with us on our FemSlam page and follows us on there
and personally
all the time.
And
personally.
And I literally made a tweet. I literally made a tweet on the FemSlam page, and he interacted with it. That's the funny part. I got caught doing something in the midst of.
Hi, Karen.
I guess I don't think I said anything egregious. I think I just said something about Kofi and Xavier when that happened, or hell, it might have been when I was just randomly tweeting about when him and them folk were beefing with Street Profits. I don't know, but at the end of the day, I get what I was in a sense I get what he's doing, but at this point of time, you're supposed to be a top wrestler at this moment. You're barely on TV, even doing anything, and people want you to be in the.
His shirt, I gotta give him that. That bitch is selling. Both of them.
They're selling them in the arenas now too, starting today.
Yeah, and like they've sold out a couple times online. It's the most popular shirt on the shop. Like I gotta give him his 10s for something.
Yeah,
it's working to an extent. However, are they gonna capitalize on it?
And that's the problem. Nope. That's the issue I have. Because people are like are booking him to be in that Money in the Bank match, and I'm like, aside from him doing his social media stuff and being involved with other people, I'm like, I don't see it. Like, if you put that man in a match, he's not winning it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Don't nobody want to be the man who has.
That's my next take, but.
But yeah, all in all, all in all, yeah, it is. But go ahead.
I was gonna let you finish first.
Okay. Sorry, but all in all, I get his plight, and I got his plight. I was one of those people who was like on his side after WrestleMania. Like, your crash out was valid, but at the end of the day, they gotta put you in the ring for me to actually care and actually like build the story that you have going on. Like, I can't get behind you if you're just doing all of the social media stuff and people are quote unquote behind you and buying your stuff. I need you to actually have a set story with somebody that I can get behind you with. Because ever since I've seen him on my television screen, I'm not behind you. The only time I'm behind you is when you are trying to help AJ Styles beat Logan Paul. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and I was behind it. But at the end of the day, get a better dance partner, and I'll be behind you.
I will
That's
say
it.
though that that's not really Karrion's fault though either. That's the WWE's
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how they're booking things and making matches. And speaking of the WWE being at fault for how they book their matches, my next hot take is Will Ospreay's right.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
So Will Ospreay has been on this media tour for AEW for the past few weeks, and it feels like every interview he does, we get a new quote of him saying something about how AEW's wrestlers are smoking WWE's wrestlers, something along those lines. And I'm inclined to agree. And this is not because I am Will Ospreay's number one shooter or I glaze the hell out of that man. But as of right now, WWE does not really care that much about their match quality. They don't care about how they're putting matches together. They don't care about the choreography of it all. And because of that, they're not utilizing the strengths of the wrestlers that are on their roster to their best ability. I'm going to use Gunther as an example.
Tony, stand down.
Gunther in the Indies. Walter, I'm going to call him Walter since we're talking about his indie run. Walter in the Indies, insane. The matches that he was doing over in Europe was nuts. And then it was like he went to NXT UK and they watered him down a little bit.
The fact that like even though they water him down, but he's still like
right. But I'm not stopping there. So he got watered down a little bit in NXT UK. Then he comes over to the US and starts working on the main roster, and they watered him down even more. He's still dominant, he's still powerful, but the matches that he's putting on currently are not reflecting that. It's the same thing with like a Seth Rollins and Ilya Dragunov. Like there are so many people in WWE that are incredible wrestlers, but they aren't being used to their highest potential. And that is where I agree with Will. In that over in AEW, they are putting on matches that highlight every wrestler's best abilities. They're letting them have this free reign over how they do their matches and the spots they do and everything they want to do to highlight themselves technically in the ring. WWE doesn't do that because WWE is now in the entertainment business of things. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But as it stands right now, the wrestlers that are on that roster are not wrestling at the top of their game.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. So as it stands right now, he's right. There isn't anybody on the WWE roster that is better than anyone on the AEW roster. But that is because they aren't being utilized properly in matches. Now, if they switch that and start doing that at some point, my thing will change. Maybe.
It would probably be more of like an even thing. I still don't think it would be like they're better.
Yeah, but
not clear cut anyway.
Right. There I feel like you could identify some kind of outliers that'd be like, "Oh, this specific person is better than, a lot of people on this right." You know what I mean? But as a whole, no.
I have to give it to him as well because he didn't even just talk about the wrestling. He talked about as a whole, like stories and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you cannot look at the WrestleMania that we just got and tell me that he's wrong.
He's not.
You can't. And there are some hidden gems here and there in terms of like matches when you get like two really good workers who just go out there and because like the WWE doesn't care too much about like
But there are specific
the
wrestlers that'll
wrestling or the
give a shit.
wrestling like quality, but there are certain wrestlers there who do give a shit and do like care to really go out there and prove people wrong. But like they're very few and they're few and far between. It's become a tad bit better than it was last year, like better matches, it like more consistently, or the show's becoming more wrestling oriented, at least for Monday Night
I
Raw.
was
I
gonna
don't know
say
what
for
the
Raw, I
fuck
don't know
they
about
got
SmackDown.
going on Fridays, bro.
Like you
3
said,
hours, and
God
what the hell are we
abandoned
doing?
SmackDown a
God
long
deserted
time.
SmackDown a long
A
fucking time
long
ago. I don't know
time.
what the hell is happening over there. Road Dogg, brother, what the fuck is happening? I don't know. But
CTE, he
on
had it.
Raw, it's getting a tad bit better. Because I remember when people used to, I forgot who I used to get this information from, but I think Suplex Media on TikTok, he's brought it up a couple of times, so shout out to him. But the amount of time of actual wrestling that you get
There's a Twitter
on
account that
the show.
does,
Yeah. So he brought it up once, and when Raw was still 3 hours, it would be, I think, a total of 45 minutes,
which is
45 minutes,
insane.
which is insane. Now that we're at the 2.5 hour mark, it's still around 44 to 45 minutes, but the amount of time has shortened, and we're getting that amount. So I think that's a bit of an improvement, especially with the fact that we're getting a lot more women showcased on Mondays as well. We've gotten some great matches on Raw since the Netflix move.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the only good thing. And it's like them having Raw on Netflix has made them step it up in terms of the quality of the show and the pacing of it, because they have to put on a product that is doing well in order for Netflix to not.
Yeah.
SmackDown, they just like
Yeah.
Raw is by no means perfect, but there are some improvements. However, Raw's roster is also
More stacked.
more stacked, and you have SmackDown people showing up on Raw every so often as well.
Right.
It's almost becoming like what it used to be back in the day when they made it like the Raw Super Show.
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown was strictly SmackDown people, but Raw, it was like anybody.
Anybody can come in here.
So we had Io and Stephanie, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
We had Bianca and Io last year was phenomenal. That was like my women's TV match for the WWE, like for the year. That was great. Seth and Jay not this past Monday, the Monday before. Wow, that was almost 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that. What Sammy and Punk, I enjoyed that for the Elimination Chamber qualifiers. AJ and Finn this past week was also really good despite the interferences. So like we've been getting some good stuff. We've been getting some good tag team wrestling too. Men and women. That's awesome. Lyra Valkyria kills it every time she's in the ring. But again, that's all those things that I mentioned, Raw. The only thing that SmackDown has like really had in terms of like the wrestling quality is their tag division. However, even that gets to a point where I'm getting tired because like we don't really have that many tag teams, so we keep seeing the same matchups over
Over and
and
over.
over and over again. So we need something fresh. And then as far as the woman, the only person that's really grabbing my attention at all over there on SmackDown is Naomi. And that's strictly from a storyline standpoint because they're not doing much like with the match. Like why are we getting Tiffany and Nia for the title again?
Yeah.
Like why are we doing that? I liked the match with Nia and Jade more than I thought I was going to. I will give Jade her tens for that. She did seem very much more improved. That I think I liked her performance there better than I did in her match with Naomi at Mania. But yeah, I can't, like, when they want to lock in, you'll have people like a Sammy, a KO, a Punk, a Rollins. Like, those people will lock in and give you a good match, not super overproduced, and like they'll. But again, those are people who are like top of the card. So if they want to lock in and say to hell with what the producers want to do and be in charge of their creative to an extent, they can do that. That's probably not the case for everybody else. So yeah, I can't say I disagree with Will either. Or even Kenny Omega, who said that in a couple years we'll probably be getting fucking like
Mr. Beast
Mr.
and Logan
Beast
Paul.
first.
Yeah.
Like look what we're doing.
It's become too much of a spectacle, and I'm like, I don't like this.
I hate it. I hate it. I mean, I don't disagree, but I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
And what they harp on too, real quick, sorry. What they harp on too is like the wrestlers on WWE, like we get the ones that will give us the great matches and have a bag of tricks. But for most people, like Jay, like John Cena, they have those same moves that people get annoyed by. And like that's why I get annoyed with Gunther at times at this point, because they keep calling people, okay, super chop merchant. You call Jay the super kick merchant. The five moves of doom from John Cena. Like, I get it. They want them to do like the same moves over and over again. But at a certain point, I'm tired of it. And that's what annoys me when people get online and be like, oh, all you did is this and this. That's because it's designed for them to do that. And yes, at times it is good for them to preserve their bodies by doing a lot of those same things. But at a certain point, I don't want to see that all the time. Like it's like a weird
gymnast. Like
yeah, it's like a weird like double like weird like middle ground. I'm like, okay, like yes, I like seeing those moves, but at a certain point, let's not have them do those moves all the time, because it gets to a point where it's like I know what this match is going to be, and I'm not as enthused.
Yeah. Will's not wrong. Will's not wrong at all. Neither is Kenny, and I hate that. I hate that part. I don't like that part. Is it time for the fun ones?
We have one last, I think, serious one. I think.
We finished 3.
Oh, yeah. You did the 3.
You keep.
Okay.
I did my 3 as well, so it's on the silly one.
I didn't have a silly one, but
it's like I did the Rhea one. I did the Roman one. I think I had one more and then a serious and then like a bullshit one. But you
already
more,
did
go ahead.
3 though. I can't remember what the other one was, but I know you did 3.
Oh, we forgot.
Oh, the John Cena one.
That one.
Yeah.
There you go. Silly one now?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe, because the other one that I was thinking of, that's really going to get me, like, choked out.
Do you want to say it?
Maybe not.
Okay. All right. Since it's my turn now, and it's the silly ones. This is so stupid. AJ needs a better password for his Twitter, or he should not have Twitter at all. Like, the amount of times... it's only happened twice.
It wasn't. The thing is, it wasn't Twitter that got hacked. It was his phone, my dear. Like listen, once motherfuckers got your SIM card, bro,
it's over.
It's cooked.
Get AJ a flip phone or something. This is enough. Get AJ a damn flip phone or something. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep doing this.
Oh, I have a silly one now.
Okay. Well, we gotta go in order.
Just go.
Okay. Go ahead. I have mine after you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go.
Jon Moxley needs to put down the black cargo pants.
Okay.
Because every time he wears the green ones, he has a good match. I need him
Okay.
to stop wearing
I
the
was
black
about
ones
to-
because they're a curse at this point.
I was about to jump you. I was about to jump you. You
Yeah, I
started
need
with
John
Jon
Moxley to
I was like,
actually
hold on.
change his gear to permanently have green cargo pants because
Put the trunks back on, god damn it.
that
Those panties are not coming out, bro.
I don't care. They're
They're
not
not
even
coming
they're
out.
trunks. They were trunks. They had barbed wire on it and it had marks across it. Anyway.
Okay,
Go,
I have mine. Okay, it is like it's akin to Mad's Will hot take. I just think that media training in professional wrestling, it shouldn't happen. Well, because people media training, social media classes should not happen because let people talk how they want to talk in interviews. Granted, some people do need it.
yeah, let Javon sit here and
No, because
But-
then it's like if the person is like a piece of shit and like they reveal it, like it was meant to be known.
Yes, because
Yeah.
because why I say this is because like people are getting on Will for like his thoughts about the WWE, but the interviewers are asking him the questions. Whenever Cody would get in interviews, people were asking about Roman. Granted, I think at the times I'm like, okay, shut up about it. Don't like you can just say no comment. But I'm like, no, fuck it, just say it. Like this because at the end of the day, like this is a sport.
Yeah,
People should be able to talk in a way, but but just have common sense when you do talk. Like media training, it is beneficial for some people, but if you put the right people in front of a mic, just let the chopper sing.
You gonna get something to do.
And my thing about Will is like Will is one of the top guys in AEW. He's getting paid a shit ton of money from AEW to wrestle for them. Do you think he's going to say some nice ass shit about the competition? And the answer is no. He's getting paid. He's getting paid a ton of money to sit up here and defend AEW, and that's what he's gonna do.
Bro, that's how I feel about like the Punk shit, right?
Mhm.
Because and a lot of the AEW like diehards who defend AEW like and will defend it to the day that they die. When people were criticizing Will, which I don't think was warranted because it was his opinion and he was asked the question, they were saying he's not just talking about WWE to talk about WWE. They asked him about WWE, so he gave an answer. I don't know why you guys are getting so butthurt over it. On the flip side, God forbid an interviewer asks Punk about AEW and he answers the question. Holy shit, the internet combusts. He's not over it. He needs to rent free. He needs to stop talking about AEW. Oh, he can just not answer the question or say no comment. Why are you? Why? Why is it?
But then, if he said no comment, they're still gonna lose their minds over it.
It's like that man can't do that. The man can't. The man can't do anything. But it's like
Nothing.
It's don't pick and choose who you're gonna give that argument to. If it's they were asked a question, so they're free to answer it, then that applies to everybody.
Well, I was
And
gonna
if
say
you're
Seth
mad
Rollins
that
did the same shit back in like 2019, and they were on his ass. Like,
yeah, and it's like when you, and then you look at like the whole situation with Punk and AEW. Why do you expect anything positive to come out of that man's mouth? Why? Why? I do not get it. And to interviewers who insist on like asking him about it, stop.
or feeding into the fire of tribalism in general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, just stop. He's doing things. He's elsewhere. He's made it clear he's happy about it. I don't know how much more he can say about the situation. He's said everything. Footage has been dropped. Like there's nothing else to it, and whatever there is else to it, they legally cannot speak about it because there are NDAs.
Right.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Yep.
you're not getting anything else out of that man. Leave it alone.
You know they won't.
And for me, it's like because I watch basketball all the time, and those press conferences, like some of the people have the cookie cutter answers, people don't. Like Anthony Edwards be calling folk old heads,
Yep.
and just be doing whatever. Like the same thing should be happening with the same thing should be happening with these wrestlers at times too. Because I'm like, I want to see this. Like, this is healthy. It's healthy for the sport for you to talk shit about another company, and that's like productive for good conversation, not for the toxic conversation. Because the fans that are tribalist about this stuff, it gets annoying. Like, just stay in the fan space and that's like just don't say anything outrageous that makes everybody else look crazy. Just let them talk.
MJF, like, and I can't. I'm not an MJF shooter. I'm not. But I remember him coming out and saying himself, like, "Oh, I don't get why fans get so mad when one company talks about the other or throws shots on the other. Like, it's wrestling. Like, we're competition. Like, that's just how
It's
it
what
is.
they're
Like,
gonna do.
everybody
Right.
does it." So I don't know. And it's like, so if the people actually in the business and like in these companies don't care, why are you so up in arms on Twitter about it? Like, just
Right.
Exactly.
Mind you,
bruh.
most of these wrestlers are friends with each other, so it's like,
Yeah, and it's like,
Mercedes be all up under Bailey and Naomi's posts.
Mind you,
Like,
she just posted about the 3-year walkout.
yep,
thank you.
the watermelon.
Like, hello.
but
Like, tribalism solely exists between the fans of professional wrestling more than it does with the actual wrestlers.
And I wouldn't even necessarily say it's people outside of social media, but like it's literally in the bubble of the IWC.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
so who's next?
You
Do you have one?
Again.
do you have
Oh,
do you have a silly one?
if it y'all's were like really silly, mine was just like, okay.
Mine wasn't even silly, to be honest. It was just like, let's have fun
That was
about
very,
it.
like, half
Okay.
joking.
Yeah.
I still I'll still get whacked for this one. That's what I mean.
Oh.
I'll still get whacked for this one.
All right.
CM Punk
Mm-hmm.
as a heel
Yeah.
throughout his entire career, not just for one particular run or period, is better than 09 Orton. Okay?
That's my cue to go.
Yes.
We're gonna end the show right here.
He is a better heel. He is a more menacing heel.
What?
He is a way more
No.
evil and sinister than 09 Orton ever
Are
was.
you sure?
Yes, I am positive.
Because I used to have nightmares about 09 Randy, bro.
Probably
He's scary,
the
man.
bald.
No. You think it's
Not
the bald that did it?
bald.
I say,
You think it's the bald that did it?
if we're talking, okay, like for you, right? What would you say are the things that make 09 Orton stand out? Like the specific moments that you were like, oh my god, that make you be like, oh, 09 Orton, like, was so.
Kissing Stephanie McMahon in front of Triple H. Punk kicking Vince McMahon. Punk kicking Ted DiBiase.
Punt kicking.
There's a lot of
John
punt
Cena's
kicking.
dad.
Yup. He
Okay.
RKO'd somebody's grandmama. Was it his own?
No, I think
Whose
that was.
grandmama did? It was somebody's grandmother. that he RKO'd.
Okay. Or Punk. We have the entirety of that straight edge society run to the point where he was pretending to be Jesus Christ in a way that was, but for a lot of people, like blasphemous. And the reason why is because he quite literally says on his documentary that he would stay up late and watch those like late night sermons and stuff like that to memorize and get down the speech patterns and the mannerisms of pastors and how they were, and literally telling people to put hands on the TV or and rewording like prayers like the Our Father and the Hail Mary and all that shit. He had grandma slapping him, people throwing food and bottles in the ring at house shows. This is like cult leader shit. This is not just somebody who's unhinged. This is somebody who is unhinged but is very like cold and calculated about it. And
He's
for me
methodically
personally,
unhinged.
I've always found like I don't like true crime, especially when it has to do with like cults in America and stuff like that. Like cult stuff freaks me the fuck out. That shit is scary. The idea of a cult, the idea of the way that you can get people so behind you and your message, even when it's like the craziest shit, or like you're telling these people to do the craziest shit. So you have that entire run. You have him damn near almost or trying to break Jeff Hardy's neck in the chair, like on the ring post. You have him attacking and kicking on the back of a head an elderly Jerry Lawler. You have him in the ring with Paul Heyman mocking and reenacting or faking Paul Heyman having a heart attack a week after Jerry Lawler comes back after his heart attack. You have him attacking and have it like beating Vince McMahon. You have him beating Ric Flair with his crutch. You have him pouring the ashes of Paul Bearer on Undertaker, spreading them over himself, putting them in his mouth, interrupting Mae Young's birthday celebration, 90th birthday celebration. The week that he came out in full Jeff Hardy gear, the week after Jeff Hardy was released from the WWE. Like I can go on and on and on. Like the way that he carries himself, the lengths that he goes, and the way that he very much comes off cold and calculated gives more of a menace and sinister heel to me than Randy Orton just punt kicking people and like trying to blow up Cena that one time.
Hey, the blowing up Cena part was funny.
Like more of that, like it comes in like promo work, and just everything has to come together for a heel to really make me feel like they're a menace to society. It's not just in like crazy actions for me. Like it
Then
has
we
to be
shall
a full
agree to
circle thing.
disagree.
It has to be a full circle thing to me.
To me, Randy and 09 Punk they're both villains, are just two different types of villains.
But I mean, like Punk, like every time Punk is a heel, there's like at least one or two moments where you're like, oh yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it's like with Randy as a heel, everybody just goes back to that one period. Oh, 09 Orton. I could bring up Punk's Ring of Honor heel run. I could bring up Punk's Straight Edge Society heel run. His 2013 heel run. Like, I can bring up multiple different eras of that man's career of him being, like, a menace to society.
Can I say real quick, the one time he was a menace to society in my mind, because I didn't know of Punk until he was on the challenge, he did the Lord's work. Yapping and getting under Johnny Bane's skin. I just have to mention that because that was my introduction to CM Punk, not even in a wrestling ring.
We're just talking about favorite CM Punk moments now.
That was that. I just have to say that because that was that him. One is that man of my that man is my enemy to this day. Johnny Bananas. Seeing him going back and forth with that man, I enjoyed it. That is not wrestling related, but I just had to get that out. That's it.
That's real. That's real. Mads, you have any opinion on the matter?
It shocked the hell out of me. But I mean, when you think about it, like really sit down and think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even bring up the happy birthday to
I was about to bring up the happy birthday.
Poor baby. To that poor baby. Yo, when he went out there with Jeff, and Jeff was on commentary, and he was like, "Look at this, Jeff. These are eye drops. I have to take every day. I got this with a prescription." And I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
no fucking way you, no fucking way you aired that. No way."
He was like, by the way, hey, you fucking drug addict. Like, whoa.
I got these with a prescription. That's what you get from a doctor to take these legally. And I was like,
ain't no way.
Okay, sir.
You just got us in there like, ain't no way.
Does anybody have anything else before we start to wrap it up? Just because I know Mads has to go very soon.
Listen.
Anybody got any last things they want to get off their chest?
I do have
one. I want to hear what you had to say that was going to get you choked out.
You look really excited to say this, Mads.
I do have one.
Go ahead.
I had this as another serious one that I just wrote down that I was just kind of choosing between. I'm going to read this as I wrote it, all right?
Okay. All right.
Triple H isn't a good booker. He just convinced the fans that 1, he's better than Redacted, and 2, that moments matter more than matches do.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Thank you. There it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah. There it is. And even to the point, he's not that much better than Redacted.
Yeah. It's just because it's not him. There's still too many traces. It's not him that.
But there's still too many traces of Redacted around in a lot of Triple H's booking.
Well,
so
yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is true, and like that's why everybody's on like the cinema thing, and like I don't know if I said this publicly at any point, but
you are now.
I hated that pre-recorded thing with sit down with Roman, Heyman, and Punk.
I didn't like it either.
I hated it. Ugh. Fucking hated it. Fucking hated it.
Yucky.
No cinema bullshit. Do not bring him into the cinema bullshit. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. The Cody Roman one at the Field was okay, but like it was longer and more drawn out. It's just I wanted a just cut a fucking just show up to work, get in the ring, and cut a promo. If I wanted to see a clip or a movie, I'd go to the movie theater. I'd go to like this is wrestling. Wrestling is a storytelling medium in its like on its own, and the reason these stories are told this way is for a reason. Like, cut a promo. Please cut a promo. Just cut a promo. I don't need the cinema. And like everybody's like promo of the year last year or something like that was that Georgia Tech promo with Cody and Roman at the football field. That was not the best promo of the year.
Was that not Punk and Seth?
I thought it was Punk and Seth. Hell, I thought this didn't even get nominated for a lot of people. Punk and Drew on Raw the week before Hell in a Cell with the cell down. All of those security and Adam Pearce in the ring. Punk in white from head to toe. Drew in black from head to toe. Oh!
There was layers to that
Yeah,
one.
You
there
want
was
to tell a fucking story?
There was layers to that shit.
I feel like I didn't even mention it, but the promo like that he had beginning of last year with Drew in the middle his pipe bomb, that's still one of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Like the one with all three of them?
No, it's him in the sitting. He literally was sitting in the ring, crisscrossed.
Oh,
That one.
that was the draft because he was in the skybox and then Drew went up there and then he came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I still have the photo of Drew to this day in my phone of him crisscross applesauce with the mic.
Crisscross applesauce, hands in lap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Since we're airing out just final things, I'll do it.
Yeah! Do it! Do it!
Seth Rollins
Huh?
has to win Money in the Bank this year, and he has to successfully cash in
Okay.
on the Raw after Money in the Bank during that Gunther and Jay match.
Okay.
Repeat. Successfully. Successfully. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They
The
decided
band has now,
to
what, a
run
75% success rate?
They decided to run back Gunther and Jay for a 5th time for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
And it's not happening on the PLE that's happening 2 days before that match. It's happening on the Raw after. People are going to say, well, cash-ins happen on the same night. They did that angle last year. I don't see them doing it again this year. They had the male Money in the Bank winner fail last year. They're making it clear Seth wants that title. He's a heel now. It's a bit rocky depending on the city as to whether or not the city treats him like a heel. You want to solidify him as the most hated person on the Monday Night Raw roster. You want to set him and this new group that he has going on as a successful threat on the roster, and you want to make good on capitalize on this storyline that you're telling, interweaving what he has going on with this group into Jay's World Heavyweight Championship run. You have him win Money in the Bank, have him cash in that Monday, you have him take it off of Jay. You have successfully had him ruin the title reign of the most over man in the company. You have capitalized on everything that you've been doing with the two of them thus far. You have Seth now officially at the top of the food chain on the Monday Night Raw roster. And you have somewhat of a different ending to this 5th round bout that Gunther and Jay are having, and you can do it without either one of them getting pinned. You do it without having to make Gunther or Jay make each other look bad. Really. And it also makes sense because they have Jay working overtime right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's by the time Money in the Bank comes around, and that match at Raw, that's going to be his 3rd or 4th title defense already. And he has a match with Braun on Raw. I feel like they're having him rack up all these matches and defenses because the reign is not meant to be long. I think they're doing a Heist of the Century Part 2. I swear
for sure.
to God. I swear
For
to
sure.
God.
And
I feel
especially because, currently, like, as I look at Money in the Bank, like, obviously, like, I can for sure see Naomi, right, winning Money in the Bank. The men's, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't think LA Knight is in a position to where
No.
he can win it. I don't think
even
they
put that
haven't
energy
done
out
right
there.
by Carmelo Hayes and his booking to make me believe that he's going to win it.
Or that he's going to cash in successfully if he
Right.
does.
No.
And outside of that, like, I don't.
It's going to be one
Who's
of the
after
three
that?
in the triple threat tonight, which is Jimmy, Ray, Phoenix, and Solo. But if
Jimmy.
any of those three names go into Money in the Bank, I don't see any of them coming out with the briefcase.
Nope. I don't. As much as I would.
I hate to say it, but I am telling you right now, granted, I could be very wrong because maybe Braun or Seth are not involved in the Money in the Bank match when the time comes, then my take will change. But I am telling you right now, if either Braun Breaker or Seth Rollins are announced to be in those qualifying matches, and one of them or both of them make it into that Money in the Bank match, you have your Money in the Bank winner. You have your Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah.
Especially if both of them are in the fucking match.
Yeah, it's over.
Because Braun is going to make sure that Seth gets it.
Yep.
If I am a Jey Uso fan, because everybody is coming for Gunther and all this shit and Sammy or whatever thing, if I am a Jey Uso fan right now, I am fucking terrified of Seth Rollins, especially if him and or Braun Breaker are in that Money in the Bank match.
Mm-hmm.
That match is happening on the Raw after Money in the Bank instead of at Money in the Bank for a reason.
That's what I said.
I can almost guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Seth Rollins is your men's Money in the Bank winner this year. And I think the cash-in will be successful.
Well, Seth had Money in the Bank before. Did he fail his first Money in the Bank cash-in?
No, that wasn't that the heist of the century?
Yeah, he won.
It was. I forgot. But yeah. Yeah, if he successfully cashes in, that's 2 for 2.
Mm-hmm.
He will be No, he won't be the only one to go 2 for 2. Will he?
No. Ironically, the only other person to do that is CM Punk.
Yep. Yep.
Even more fuel to the fire of why the fuck they would do that shit.
Oh man, they love creating parallels like that.
The only thing that Punk will have a record on that, like, he's the only person to have this record in the company, men or women, is that he won back-to-back years Money in the Bank and successfully cashed in back-to-back. Nobody, men or woman, has done that. So that's going to still remain, like, his thing that only he had. But a 2-time Money in the Bank winner and successful cash-in, the only other guy to do that, to my knowledge, is Punk. So that's another reason why I would see them doing that.
Yep.
I won't put it past them. And who knows? Maybe that's how we get the rubber match for those two. Finally. For a title.
Finally. God.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Is that everything we got?
That everything from everybody?
I think so.
Yeah.
Do we want to do our usual little goodbye game?
Oh, yes. So,
okay.
On the OG pod, they do fetch. Over here, since we're technically real graps, we do your male and female wrestler of the week and your match of the week.
Oh God, putting me on the spot like that?
Yup. That's how we do things around here. If you want, me and Tony will go first to give you and Meg some time to think.
You two go first.
Yeah. Tony, go.
Why me? You.
All right.
I talk too much.
Fine. I'll start with my wrestlers of the week. My male wrestler of the week, Hangman Adam Page. I love him. He's had an interesting week. I'll say that. Yeah. He's had an interesting couple of weeks since we've last recorded. There's a turn happening in here. It hasn't fully come out of him yet, but it's very subtle. He's been smiling a lot more often. He's been interacting with fans a little bit more. Like, it's the little things. The little things. He's been smiling again. So, that's Hangman for me for male wrestler of the week. Female wrestler, I'm giving it to Toni Storm because the one promo she got where she ended up just walking out of the building and onto the balcony. Where were they?
Jersey.
Where the hell were they? Yeah, they were in Jersey. And she just screams, "I'm here," and I'm like, I love that for her. I love that for her. Close runner-up would be Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné for the fight that they were having after Jamie Hayter's interview with Renee Paquette. That was good. That was good. Match of the week would definitely be the tag match between Will Hangman versus Josh Alexander Takeshita, because, like we've said multiple times, the partnership between Takeshita and Joshua Alexander is something so truly incredible. And just to see, like, such great synergy paired with a team who's barely keeping it together, like, that moment where Osprey's walking like this and Hangman is just
Fear of
the
God.
fear of God was put into
I
not
almost
only Will
cried.
Osprey but
I
me
almost
as well.
cried. So for the
So
people that
look-
are listening to that, I was at the show. I was at Dynamite
Yes.
and Collision.
I
For
got
this
great
week.
pictures from that cage match.
Yeah, that moment between Will and Hangman, my heart stopped. Like,
It was insane.
we didn't even talk about at like once the fact that we got fucking at the same time Buckshot Lariat
Buckshot and the Hidden Blade.
Buckshot
the
Lariat,
Buckshot
NBA at the
Blade.
same time.
Oh,
Yeah, bro.
at the same damn time. I was getting to that. First of all, I was getting to the, but yeah, that tag match was a thing of beauty. An absolute thing of beauty. So that's for me. Tony, you want to go now?
Okay. My female wrestler of the week. Did she have a match this week? No. But it's Willow.
Of course.
Willow Nightingale. I
Of
love Willow
course.
Nightingale, and like,
Of course.
I mean, she had a good match with Chris, like the week
Yes.
prior,
Yes.
and like she always has a good match with Chris. But Willow and like the way that she's gotten involved with the Death Rider storyline, like I tend to ease up on my criticism of it a little bit when like some of the outside players that aren't always involved kind of resurface.
Mm-hmm.
I love how she's just like no fucks given. Like honestly, I need her to pin. The feeling will be fully restored if she pins John Moxley in Anarchy in the
Thank
Arena.
you.
Swear to God, like
Thank you.
I see Willow and I immediately like I light up. I have to, and I again
You can't not.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Anarchy in the Arena we're about to get. Like maybe it'll grow on me as we lead up to it, but I am really hyped that this is going to be an intergender one, and one of the main reasons for that is because of Willow Nightingale's involvement. So I have to give it to Willow.
Yeah.
My male wrestler of the week, another person who didn't wrestle this week, ironically, I have to give it to Seth Rollins. I have to give it to Seth Rollins because he's probably wrestler of the month for me. The turnaround that he has had since WrestleMania and the way that he has easily become the top person on Monday Night Raw, and to the point where the entire show is just revolves around him, booked around him. He's having multiple segments throughout the show. He's opening the show, he's closing the show, he's having backstage segments. Like, it's just, he's in the world title picture. The way that he's carrying himself, this partnership with Paul, which when it was rumored to be a thing, hadn't even happened yet, I was skeptical. I'm not even going to lie to you. But they have really driven it home. This partnership with Paul, the involvement of Braun Breaker, he's doing a phenomenal job. And to all the people who said that he couldn't have this role. He couldn't be put in this position. He was put in this. They tried to push him as the Raw guy, the top guy on Raw before, and it didn't work. And he is capable. He just needs to have the right people behind him and the right direction. And I feel like him working with the likes of Paul, a phenomenal young upstart in Braun Breaker, working, on the opposite end of a Sami Zayn, a CM Punk. I think we're getting somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
This has been very pleasant for me to see him do this. Fuck everybody with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal bullshit. Like, fuck every last one of you. Like, Seth Rollins can do this shit, and he can do it on his own. He just needs to be given the right opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And my match of the week is going to be the same match that Vio said, for the same exact reasons. Great wrestling, great storytelling. I am very hyped for what all four of those gentlemen have going on, going forward.
Yeah.
Massey, you have yours? I have mine ready.
I think I have mine. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for the sake of being different for my match of the week, because realistically, my match of the week is the tag match that everyone's saying. However, for the sake of being different, I'm going to talk about another tag match that happened this past week, and that is Fraxium versus the Street Profits on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Really good match there. I think that Fraxium brings a breath of fresh air into the tag division on SmackDown. I think they're going to do great things. And I think I just saw where they have a match tonight against DIY too. So, I mean, great things are going on for Fraxium at the moment. Men's Wrestler of the Week. I think I am going to have to, and this feels biased, but I think I'm going to have to go with Will.
That's totally fair.
I think I have to, because
that's fair.
Everybody and their mother, all of their critiques about Will are that, like, he can't cut promos, he can't tell stories, he can't do this, he can't do that. But this story that he has going on with Hangman, the promo that he cut last episode of Dynamite,
that line, bro.
This isn't
about your redemption. It's about my ascension.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. And then the storytelling he was telling in this match with Hangman this past Wednesday, great. He's my men's wrestler of the week. Day. For my women's, I think I'll have to go Mina Shirakawa.
Real.
Because, and like, so I watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. And they just had Resurgence, and she had a really good match in Resurgence. Now she's over in AEW, and she put on a great showing against all other three women in this eliminator match and earned herself a title shot at Double or Nothing against Toni Storm. Yeah. I have been super high on Mina Shirakawa for a very long time. I think this is a huge moment for her. I think that bringing her into the women's division, even though she's already, made appearances on AEW television, I think that having her there permanently can do nothing but boost the women's division over there. And I'm really, really excited for what's about to be happening for Mina. Your turn.
Ooh, speaking of Mina, because we were watching the Resurgence pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say my match of the week is actually that match for the title with the 3-way with her, Mercedes, and Azumi. I actually enjoyed it.
Shout out Azumi, by the
Yep.
way. She's also killing it. Your new
New Japan Strong Women's Champion.
yeah.
I was
Yup.
thoroughly entertained by that match. That's
Yep.
like it. That's like it was a toss up for me for my match of the week, either between that match, the eliminator match itself on AEW, and then Kalani and Zarya. Like those are the three that like popped out in my head as like my favorites of the week. But that 3-way match, at the New Japan show was actually really fun to watch. Like I enjoyed myself watching it. Unfortunately, yeah, like Mercedes lost, but like the way that they did that match, I was actually entertained. It that was like my first time seeing Azumi actually wrestle because like I knew of Azumi, but that was the first time actually seeing her wrestle, and I was like, she's dope. And I've seen Mina, like I know her and Mercedes got problems too, but the way that match was just done, I was entertained. So that's my match of the week. Funny enough, for my men's wrestler of the week, it has to go to the man that's Ricochet, because he stole that man's leg. And they still had a good match.
I mean, you have a point, but like,
Bro, all I gotta say is hell is hot, bro. Hell is hot.
she's out of line, but she's right.
Hell is hot where Ricochet is going. Because what you mean you ain't gonna give it back?
You know, fun. But he got it back. But
We even let him.
Zach finally got it back.
Compete on an even playing field.
So lost. Oh. And then he tried, bro. You took his leg and then you pulled out the scissors, like.
Shawty, what we doing?
Like the whole progression of like just Ricochet, like not only in the match, it was funny. I was entertained because like, why are you running? You ran away from that man while he was trying to grab you. Mind you, first off, and it was just I was just entertained by that match because, and then also like the other shenanigans Ricochet had prior to their first interaction the previous week. I like him being a menace at times, and it works in this setting.
It does. It fits Ricochet.
I was gonna say the whole having him go heel, I think was
a good
best
decision.
move.
I fucking love his song, bro. His entrance music. I do fuck with it heavy.
Yeah,
it
so
is a banger.
So Ricochet is my men's wrestler of the week, but it was also a toss up for me for the women's wrestler of the week. It was between Jordan and Tatum on NXT, but I had to give it to Tatum.
I was gonna say Tatum had a very, very valid crash out.
She did, and that's why
she lost her bird lady.
And that's why her crash out is why she's my women's wrestler of the week, because not only she crashed out, that told a story of a different aspect of like her character that we're gonna get soon, but also her and Thea had a really good match. So
they did. It was great.
That's why.
Poor Tatum. She's lost all of her friends. None of her friends are there anymore. They're either on the main roster or they got...
And her husband.
Yep.
Yeah. And her husband. Like, she has nobody. Poor girl. I'd crash the fuck out too. The hell? What do you mean? My friends are gone and you took my husband away from me.
Right, like...
Why would you do that to me?
So, yeah.
But that's gonna be it for this.
Yep.
Whatever
this was.
Whatever this was. 2 hours and 30 minutes of...
And counting.
That's probably gonna get... Maybe I'll call out of the next, like, production meeting. I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna go in a circle and we're gonna give everybody your socials, where they can find you. This got royally messed up last episode, so you didn't get it, but we're good this week. So we're gonna start off with you, Meggs.
Okie doke. You can find me on Twitter. Right next to yeah, it's fine. You can find me on Twitter at Meggs and Hines. That's Meggs with 2 G's. And also on TikTok as well. I have a Substack. I have not been writing as much, but thanks to Will Ospreay, I had some time to write. So
I don't know what that means, but yay!
I should have I should be done with it. Like I have a series I'm doing called Viewing Globe where I'm like this writing about things in media that I consumed. I give a shout to Will and whatnot. But yeah, it's at marvelhonestly.substack.com. Also find me on TikTok as well. I'm barely posting on there anymore. But yeah, that's it.
View.
So you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at ViralVO, where the I in VO is a 1, and the I in viral is a 1, and the O in VO is a 0. You can also follow me on YouTube, which is just regular Viral VO, all letters. And that's it.
Mads.
You can find me on all social media platforms at Madison Lash. That is Madison with a Y instead of an I, except for TikTok, which has an R in between Madison and Lash.
Okay. And you can find me on TikTok at Pepsi.plunge and at PunkerTony. Everywhere else, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. As for me and Vio, we both finally got that New York City vlog out. Part 1 is on my channel. Part 2 is on Vio's channel. Those were just posted over the last 2 weeks. So if you have not watched it, please go give those a watch.
And Mads just posted her Beach Bash
My
vlog.
Beach
Yes.
Bash one just
Yeah.
posted, so
Beach
go check
break.
that
Why
out.
did I say Beach Bash? What the fuck?
Beach Bash.
Whatever.
So go support those as well. And the Femme Slam also, on the OG side of things, dropped an episode last week. So if you haven't listened to that, if you're watching this, go to
jump
that
over there.
episode as well. Yes.
Yeah, go do that.
So yeah, that's gonna be all from us. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.